Hello, you amazing over 3,000 people and the 82.5% who have yet to subscribe. So we are going to be looking at another hot unit of Age of Sigmar 4, and let's see if we really are looking at the king of the hill when it comes to cavalry. So you asked, I am delivering. So a lot of people requested to compare the Varanguard with the Aggradons, who I do believe are probably one of the best cavalry units in the game. And Varanguard have a reputation of being just that unit. Now, these guys come in at a staggering 310 points for three models. Now, obviously, because of Slaves to Darkness, and if you want to check out the Slaves to Darkness deep dive video, I have that up on the channel right now in the deep dive section. These can be given a mark of Chaos, so they can have a mark of Undivided, a mark of Khorne, a mark of Tzeentch, a Nurgle, and Slaanesh. Each one of these will give them an additional buff. A lot of people are generally going to probably run them either with the mark of Slaanesh for the additional speed, charging and all that good stuff, or the mark of Khorne for the additional attacks and things on the charge. So let's go through them. So what are they? What makes Varanguard so damn good? Apart from three incredibly amazing miniatures, and I am not joking when I say incredibly amazing miniatures. Varanguard literally are they are some of the best miniatures in the Slaves to Darkness range. So they obviously have had some major changes since 3rd edition going into 4th, but they are still pretty amazing. So first things first, they have a 3-up save, which is better than the Aggradons, who have a 4. 3-up save is pretty good. In an age where we no longer have Mystic Shield and stuff, it's pretty sweet. Obviously, you could get a little bit more defensive by giving the mark of Nurgle and being -1 to wound, and then with that 3-up save, it is quite nice. They don't have a ward save, okay. So, they move 10, same as the what's it called? The Aggradon Lancers. So that's pretty much the same. Obviously, the Aggradon Lancers can get an additional 2 inches. Now, obviously, Slaanesh works, and you've also got to remember as well that these guys have access to the Eye of the God. So there's a few things here that we're going to be able to buff if you get good rolls. They have 5 wounds each, just like the Lancers, and a control of 2, just like the Lancers. So let's look down to the actual attacks themselves. So first things first, they're Demon Forge Blades. They have 3 attacks. They hit on 3s. They wound on 3s. They have a -2 rend, 2 damage, +1 damage on the charge, and crit mortals. So that's a lot of stuff. Straight away, we can see that these guys are, the actual riders themselves, are a little bit better than the actual lancers themselves. Obviously, on the charge, they're 3 damage apiece, and they have that inbuilt rend 2. But Aggradon Lancers can become rend 2, and potentially rend 3 if you're coming up against a monster. And damage 2, where these guys on the charge are going to be damage 3, so they're going to be pumping out a little bit more damage. Now their steeds, their horses, their mounts have 3 attacks, 4s, 3s, -1 rend, 1 damage. That's it. Where the Aggradon Lancers have got better mounts. You know, you're literally looking at potential 6 attacks on the Lancers. So all in all, these guys have better riders. The Aggradon Lancers have better mounts. All right. There are rules where the Lancers are going to be able to get an additional attack over the course of the with the range mechanic. The Varanguard have a once per battle ability where they can fight twice in a phase. So you fight once, and then at the end of the phase, you get strike last, and you can do it again. That's not too bad, to be fair. And that's, that can, if you don't kill the unit, you can pretty much guarantee that you probably will at the end of the round. So what is the Eye of Gods and how does that affect them? Well, in the Eye of the Gods, you can get various stuff, and we can go through the Eye of the Gods quickly right now as I just do that. So we got the Eye of the Gods table. So if you roll a 3 on your d6, you can get +1 to hit for the rest of the battle. So you're going to be hitting on 2s. Now, these don't affect the companion weapons, as far as I'm aware, unless I'm reading it wrong. I believe that these do not affect the companion's weapons, so you're going to be able to get the rider to hitting on 2s. If you get a 5, you can increase that rend by an additional 1, so they could become rend 3, which is pretty sweet. I don't see anywhere where you can get an additional on that wound, so you're always going to be hitting on 2s, wounded on 3s. Potentially -3 rend. Now, the rend does stack, so if you're continually rolling 5s for your Eye of the Gods rolls throughout the game, you can pretty much pump that rend right up. That there's no limit on how much rend you can have. Where the +1 hit, you're pretty much capped at. Once you get that once and you get to a 2+, you're pretty much, capped at that. Now, you can pull that down to a 1+, which you can never have a 1+. It'll stay at a 2, but if you come up against anything that has -1 to hit and you have multiple +1 to hits, then you can sort of cancel that out. But in most cases, you're going to be hitting on 2s if you get the Eye of the Gods rolls. But are they good? Are they good? Now, I would say they're good. They're pricey, and I think that's the thing that's going to sway this argument for the audience here. Aggradon Lancers are 210 points for 3 models, but for pretty much the same amount of wounds, with a good amount of caveat rules. I mean, if you leaned very much into the Aggradon Lancers, you can get the +2 movement and then the crit 2 hits on the companion attacks, where most of your attacks are going to come from if you're able to continue those fights and keep that rage mechanic going. Where Varanguard are very much, depending on how you tailor them with your mark, they're going to go in. You need that luck. You need that RNG with the Eye of the Gods rolls to bump these guys up on the hits and the rend. And then, you're potentially going to be getting 3 damage a pop, but your main ability is only once per battle, so you can only do it once. So yeah, 310 points. That's a lot of points. You're looking at 620 points for a unit of 6 Varanguard. Now, a unit of 6 Varanguard is boss. Like, that's really good. That's actually very, very scary thinking about 6 of these things in a unit. And it's like, that's like 30 wounds on a 3-up armor save. And if you really want to be defensive, minus Nurgle, so you're getting -1 to wound at all times, that's pretty sweet. But Aggradon Lancers, for basically the same amount of points, you're going to be paying 420, 630 points for 9 Aggradon Lancers, a unit of 6, and then a unit of 3. This is why I say Lancers are the best cavalry unit. These guys are definitely hot. There is no there's no argument here. Varanguard are scary. Facing a unit of 6 of them is going to be scary, and it's going to be hard work really taking them down. You're going to have to focus a lot of your attention into them to get them off the table. Or unless you've got a really good mortal damage output that you can consistently do 5 all the time, and then you can just basically start one-shotting them. You're going to be able to go through, but 6 of them is going to be hard to churn through. And while you're trying to kill them, they are fighting you, and they're probably going to do some serious damage. So yeah, that's my views and thoughts on the Varanguard. Definitely a hot unit. I definitely like them. I will be doing the Hex Wraiths next, so check out that. That'll probably be coming out at the start of next week. So yeah, we'll compare them as well, and we'll have a look at the Dragon, the Blood Knights, because a lot of people are requesting the Hex Wraiths, and we'll look at the Cavalry before we move on to looking at Yndrasta and the Jezzails, because I've got a lot of requests for them. But as always, if you know of a hot unit, or you think there's a hot unit and a hotness, leave it in the comments below and I will check that out and we can have a look at them and we can compare them to like-minded other units that are kind of similar. But that is the video, everybody. If you like what I'm doing, please like, comment, ring that bell, and most importantly, subscribe. We are smashing it through. We are like about 170 away from my personal goal for the year. Absolutely amazing. Thank you very much to everybody who has given me the support so far. And also you can check out my members and Patreon areas as well if you want to support in other ways. So thank you, everybody. See you in the next video. Peace.